What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Trevor back again with another video. And you hear the sound of my voice? Yeah, it's kind of raspy right now because, like, I don't know why it hasn't woken up yet, bro. I really don't. I already took the necessary steps to try to wake you up and it still haven't woke up. So, yeah, I just feel like I have to make this video before I forget. And this is really the perfect time to make it. So you see the title of the video. We'll be talking about this NFL coaching cycle and the coaches that have gotten fired and the reasons that they probably got fired to begin with. So the jobs that are open currently are the Cardinals, Titans, Raiders, Giants, Browns, uh, Ravens, Dolphins just opened up. So, let's go ahead and start from the most recent coach that got fired. That's Mike McDaniel. So, Mike McDaniel, the reason why he potentially got fired is because, like, first off, I feel like players just didn't respect him. You could tell because, like for example, the son Elliott, I think he played for the Steelers right now. He talked about how it was like a lack of leadership there, and really it was just all over the place. So like I felt like this for a long time. I feel like every offensive minded head coach doesn't automatically need to be an offense. Doesn't automatically need to be a head coach or jump just because of their great scheme. It takes a lot to be a head coach other than great scheme because you will be in a situation where you need to galvanize the troops. You need to make sure you show strong leadership in times of need. When the Dolphins, like, when they had their great offense, it was like very revolutionary, bro. Like, their offense was cooking on hot cylinders. But when stuff started to hit the fan, we see the lack of leadership in play. You see how fast, like, their seasons kind of, like, flipped on his head? Like, very insane. So, that's why I feel like the Dolphins, they just had to get rid of Mike McDaniel. And yeah, I just feel like the writing was on the wall. And I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier. But in reality, if he doesn't get another head coaching job, trust me, he will be on coaching staff. That's how good he is. He will be on coaching staff. So the other coach that got fired, it really wasn't a surprise either, with John Harbaugh. The writing was on the wall with him too because like he was there for 18 years, right? I feel like players in the locker room probably just got tired of his voice, and it just became a Pete Carroll situation where it just needed to move on, bring in a new voice, and see if that could change the trajectory of the Ravens. See, the Ravens was following on this path for the longest. It's just the reason why they didn't fall to rock bottom until this year was because of Lamar Jackson ultimately. Because the year before, they started out bad. It took a real defensive resurgence for John Harbaugh to keep his job. Now, when the next year happened, that residue of last year just wasn't there no more. The defense clearly was not the same ever since the 23 year, I think, when Mike McDaniel was still in style. It was not the same. So yeah, John Harbaugh, I just feel like he will get another head coaching job. They say he's currently waiting on another job opening, but I don't know. That's a very risky thing to do, but at the same time, he really don't have to coach this year because, like I said, his name will be very prominent in circles even next year. So, the, don't rule out John Harbaugh this year, and if he don't take a job, don't rule him out next year. He will be getting a head coach job. So, another day that came up was the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Jonathan Gann, I think from Joe folks that think he was like gonna be a great leader. I just you could tell by the way he was talking to his players. Yeah, he was probably nervous, but it's like at the same time throughout his team, it was just very it was just disappointing. Like, they were supposed to be a better team than they were this year. I'm not saying they was gonna be an automatic playoff team, but they should show something like that was gonna show that they was actually progressing to the right direction. You're actually not, because in reality, you currently don't have. Well, you have a quarterback in Kyler Murray, but you're not sure if he's the starter. Under your watch, your top receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr., it looked like he's not progressing towards nothing, and he was your high draft pick. The defense had moments where it was good, had moments where it was bad. Jonathan Gannon, I don't know. I just didn't think that he was showing progress. He was showing evidence of progress throughout his tenure. And yes, it was short lived, but it is what it is. Next coach is the Raiders. That was Pete Carroll. Now, to be honest with you, Pete Carroll needs to go ahead and retire. I just feel like he needs to retire. Otui getting like let go of two stops, like back to back. Like, it was very fast. He got canned by the Raiders. Because they went what? Shoot, I don't even know. Like, I know they won single digit games, so I'm gonna say like they won like 3 games or something like that. Like, you're not gonna keep your job after doing that, especially since he was brought in to actually change to change this outlook of the Raiders organization. But at the same time, he kind of did, because for years the Raiders always found a way to win like 6 to 9 games a year. Well, not 6 to 9, like 6 to 8 games a year. And that wasn't doing nothing for him to get like high draft picks. So they had to switch it up. Pete Carroll, he came in, like they brought in Geno Smith, and from jump, it looked like it wasn't gonna go well. So it just kept spiraling out of control. And yeah, that's where we at today. Pete Carroll losing his job. And this part is his last chance, because he's a very older coach. He got this on his resume now. So yeah, I think it's time. He did great work with USC. Well, before he got to USC, he did great work with the Patriots, USC, the Seahawks, and yeah, I just feel like this is the end of the road for him. So yeah, the next job open, I'm trying to see. Am I missing anybody that got fired recently? Because we all know Brian Callahan got fired. I already did video on him. Brian Daboll, I didn't really get to him, but yeah, you can tell he was coaching for his job week to week before he got fired, because, man, I tell you, it's like he was doing out-of-body things. Like, the one thing that came to mind is him going into that tent while Jackson Dart was getting evaluated for a concussion. They was not supposed to do that. And that violated freaking team rules, and it got to a point where they got fined. They wasn't supposed to do it. So yeah, you can tell he was desperate for his keep his job. He did ultimately didn't keep his job because the team was going backwards. Yeah, he got a great scheme, and I feel he also a great leader. Sorry for the interruption, but like I was saying, Brian Daboll, he was also a great leader compared to Mike McDaniel, and like I said, the time around him just kept getting worse, and Brian Daboll had to figure out ways to freaking, basically try to progress them into the right direction. What really hurt him, in my opinion, was like the collective effort of giving Daniel Jones a big contract. Have no idea why they were so pressured into doing it. They could easily let Daniel Jones go into free agency. If a team wanted to overpay for him, let them overpay. For example, if for example, the Colts. Like, if the Colts wanted to overpay for him, would a team like the Colts do it? Because we see what happened. Like, as soon as he got with the Colts, Okay, they had great resurgence on offense, but it started trending the wrong direction, and he got hurt once again. So it made no sense for the Giants to do it. So yeah, I just feel like that plus trying to win with a new QB, trying to develop him, it wasn't enough time for him to do all that. So yeah, I feel like that's majority of the jobs. Let me see. It was Browns, Dolphins, Titans, Raiders, uh, Giants. I think I said Ravens. Yeah, I feel like that's all the jobs that's to my knowledge that been opened up. And to be honest, out of all the jobs that's being open, who I think is the or what destination is the best destination to be a head coach? If I'm being real, I believe the Titans. Now, the reason why I say the Titans is because they have a top 5 pick. They have great cap space. You have a young developing QB who's shown great flashes towards the end of the season in Cam Ward. And I just feel like with the right coach, I feel like Cam Ward will be like, I feel like the Titans will be able to get closer to where we want to go, and that is the playoffs. Now, the 2 and 3, like my top 3, I feel like the Giants will also be a good opening because they have a bunch of talent. They roster Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Durham Carter. On offense, they got Cam Skywalker. They got Andrew Thomas. They, I'm trying to see. I can't think. I can't really think of the receivers. I really cannot. But yeah, and I feel like receivers probably gonna be a need for them coming up. But yeah, I feel like the Giants will also be right after them, and I feel like the Ravens with Lamar Jackson will also be a good opening because like you don't have no question mark at the QB position, which is good. Um, you have a fairly decent draft pick, but it's not you gonna probably have to do a lot to come up if you see like a best player available type beat. Um, Let me see. I feel like that's my solidified top 3 because like the Browns, for example, yeah, I feel like they they got a lot of question marks, unfortunately, but it's not on defense. Let's put that out there. It's not on defense. Their question mark is at the QB position, and now they're gonna have to whoever you bring in have to develop a freaking number 1 draft pick QB. I don't know how that's gonna go, especially if you pick like a Brian Flores or a Robert Saleh or somebody like that. I don't know how this is gonna go because we see them at other stuff. At least Brian Flores, he actually shown like he was able to win with young QB even though they didn't get along. Robert Saleh, on the other hand, I don't know, man. I don't think that would go well. So yeah, that's all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys like, comment, subscribe. This is Butcher, and I'm out.